Hello, Rick. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for doing this today. I'm excited to get into it. I just want to remind everyone that I'm Michael Suarez. I'm with Smart Cities Connect, and today I have the pleasure of talking to Rick Ralph. He is an award-winning technology executive who is currently serves as the Chief Information Officer for the town of Morrisville, North Carolina. With 2 years of 2 decades of experience, he has helped private and public organizations transform their business using technology, embedding it across organization to drive fundamental change. Rick created Morrisville's first ever Smart Cities program and strategic plan, where they have been recognized globally for the program and many of its innovative initiatives. He has a true passion for helping people and believes that utilizing technology should be at the forefront of his effort. So it's a pleasure to have you today. Is there anything else you would like to add, Rick?
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, so as I stated, we love helping people. I love the group that we work with. The town is very supportive of what we do, and we're so grateful and blessed to be in the situation that we are and to have a portfolio of recognized award-winning initiatives. So happy to talk about those today.
Awesome. That's good. That's great to hear. I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you on some of the initiatives that Morrisville is doing. Can you elaborate a little bit more on the Connected Parks initiative, how that has been implemented with the sensors, the digital signage, and the gates to improve the management of the parks in Morrisville overall?
Yeah, so this was our inaugural Smart City project, and this really started even before we finalized our Smart City strategic plan. We knew we wanted to do something that impacted our staff and improve the efficiencies and how they operate. So we were meeting with our Public Works Department, who manages those grounds at our parks, and they started talking about a very manual process to manage those grounds. And we started at a park that was in a floodplain that was very prone to flooding with light to moderate rain events. So we started there. We were walking with the public works staff on that park, and just had the conversation about if in a dream scenario, what would you like to see differently? What is your current process? What is a pain point that we can potentially help address? And so they went through the process where if there was a rain event, they would physically drive to the park, they'd evaluate the fields, they'd evaluate the moisture on the grounds and determine whether or not they needed to close those fields or close the park entirely. They had manual signs where they would flip it open or closed, and manual gates where they would close them and lock them if the park was closed. So we went back to the drawing board and tried to see what could we do to help one give them insight into the park conditions without actually driving out to the facility. So we wanted to install flood sensors, ground moisture sensors, and digital rain gauges to help them understand how much rain has fallen at this park and also how much moisture is actually on these fields. We also installed digital signage and electronic gates. That was phase two. So the first phase was just giving them that data and understand how wet the park is at any given time. The second part was allowing them to actually open and close the park or fields accordingly. So through remotely, they can go into the dashboard to manage those parks. They can update fields, whether it's an individual field or an entire park, and they can update that open or closed, and they can manually or they can close those gates remotely um, from wherever they are. And so we also are implementing a rules engine at this park to help automate this process. So right now they can still better remotely manage this without going on site, but we're implementing this rules engine where if thresholds are met, it can automate that process. It can update the signs automatically, close those gates, and also send information out to our residents if they're signed up for alert. So we helped take this manual process and automate it and give them the ability to streamline their process. Sometimes during the weekend, they would have rain events. Our parks are open on the weekends. So traditionally, they would have to leave their families, go out to the park, and evaluate those conditions. So, uh, giving them the remote capabilities to monitor and manage those parks really helped them even in their personal lives.
Wow, that's very interesting to be able to be collecting that data and to be making those types of informed decisions. I'm sure is very beneficial for the residents. That's great. I know there's other initiatives, so I want to see if you can explain a little bit more about the Amenity Vision project and with IoT startup, how that benefits the residents of Morrisville. Specifically, I guess, how does real-time visibility into those amenities like tennis and pickleball courts enhance their experience?
Absolutely. So this was kind of our second project, and this helped us deliver those front end services. So our residents have the pleasure to utilize all of our amenities, our tennis courts, pickleball courts, and we want to make that process as enjoyable as it can be. We don't want our residents to jump in the car or load their kids in the car and go to these facilities just to see them currently being utilized by other residents. We want to help them make more informed decisions with this data as well. So we worked with a startup to develop a sensor that we could install on these courts so that they have that information for one, what the current utilization is, so they can determine if they would like to utilize those courts, but also predictive analytics so that they can see historically when each court is most used. And so it's helped them, again, enjoy our courts more. It's helped us spread that play across different times. And what we've done is allowed them to sign up for alerts. If it's a facility that they enjoy playing at, they can sign up for alerts if there is an open field or an open court. We actually just we're switching our domain from our .org to our .gov, and so we had a small outage during that transition of our dashboard that I'm sure we'll talk about. But we had several pickleballers call in almost immediately. The switchover was not long, asking, "Hey, I saw the dashboard went down. We wanted to play," and so it just validates that it's being utilized by the community, and they see it as a benefit as well.
Nice. Yeah, that's so interesting. So just to for clarity, are these tennis courts and or the pickleball courts, are they uh for the community or are they attached to like an organization or is there like a fee to use them? Or are they free to the
They're
residents?
free. They're open courts, so anyone can go and utilize these amenities as they see fit. So because there's no reservation system, we felt the need to be able to give them that real-time data and information to say, okay, we've got two courts available at this facility. While it is a little more of a drive, the ones nearest to me are occupied currently. So again, helps them get to these facilities more efficiently. Again, it helps traffic around town, so they're not driving all around looking for these amenities. So there are numerous benefits to these types of projects.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's good. So there isn't like a check-in process. It's more of those sensors that are providing the data to see the traffic in those courts.
Correct. Yeah, no reservation system. It is a sensor that identifies if a court is in use. And again, that is sent either via a notification or to our Smart City dashboard.
Wow, that's very, very cool. Very cool. Well, speaking of that data, I think, is this what you're referring to, the Smart City dashboard, how it provides a comprehensive view of public-facing initiatives? I guess my follow-up question is, how has this dashboard improved the citizens' engagement and interaction with smart city projects?
It is. So
Okay.
this dashboard was identified early on by our program that we needed a centralized view for our residents to see any kind of data or information that is produced by our smart city program that they would utilize on a day-to-day basis. So we worked with a company to develop a dashboard, tried to keep it as simple as we could. And what it does is it allows them to just go to smartcity.morrisvillenc.gov, and they can, at a glance, they can see what fields are open or closed. They can see what amenities are currently occupied or not occupied. They can see the predictive analytics if they drill down into a specific facility that they're interested in. They can even sign up for notifications if they're interested in when a park closes or not. Again, at our parks, we have multi-purpose fields where they'll play soccer or other types of sports. And again, it helps notify our residents and keep them informed and up to date so that they're not, again, we've all experienced loading the kids up into the car, packing everything up, getting to the park just to see that it's closed. So being able to give them as much information that we can as quickly as we can, and having a centralized place. We didn't want to create several different types of dashboards for amenity A and then amenity B and then project A and project B. It allowed us to have a centralized dashboard that housed that information and allowed them to go directly there for information.
Very nice. So when someone uses this dashboard, or to see that type of traffic, do they have to create like an account, like a login information, or can they see it by just going to the app?
Yes, it's a public facing website. So
Okay.
anyone can just go to smartcity.morrisvillenc.gov. They can see the status of those amenities, those fields. However, if you do want to sign up for notifications, you do have to put your information in.
Sure. How has that information helped you all, just to kind of gauge the residents? Or I know you mentioned it's good to know that the residents are using it. Has that helped in that way too? I mean, do you push for them like signing up for an account, or are you okay with just seeing traffic and collecting? Is it more focused like also like on the sensors based on the course that are being used, or have you used the other information to provide, like, I guess, like those notifications that you were talking about to the residents?
Yeah, so either way, whatever works best, we wanted to give them multiple options, and the
Okay.
goal is to limit that frustration.
Hmm.
Again, we provide these services, we build these amenities, we build these parks so that they can be used by our community,
Right.
and if we can do something to eliminate those barriers and to eliminate that frustration, again, it's not going to do everything, but is doing what we can again to reduce that frustration for our community, and they can enjoy the beautiful parks and amenities that the town provides. That's a win for us.
Nice. Excellent. There's a couple of initiatives that are here that I really want to get to. So I want to kind of jump into the Morrisville Central. Is that a custom mobile application, and how does it enhance the accessibility of city services for residents?
It is. So it's a custom application that we've worked with a local developer to build. And the goal is, again, helping our residents interface with town services. So previously, we would have 4 or 5 mobile applications that did different things. One for reporting a concern, one for standard information on our website, one for booking a smart shuttle ride, which is our on-demand shuttle service. And we wanted to consolidate that again, making the experience as seamless and as easy as possible to utilize these town services. So we built that, and we're currently building out that mobile app. So we have released phase 1 and 2, and we're working on phase 3 now that will implement different features. But we wanted a centralized mobile application again to make it as easy as possible. We integrate our smart city dashboard in. So in this same mobile application where you can go and see our Twitter feed or what kind of events are happening, you can go and see what amenities are open. We're about to release phase 3, which is allowing our residents to build a custom smart city dashboard so they can build their own dashboard with the amenities that they utilize most. So if they don't ever go and play on our fields, or if they don't go play pickleball and they just focus on tennis, they can build a dashboard of tennis courts that they utilize most and see the status of just what's relevant to them.
Got it, got it. So is this mobile application different than the smart city dashboard, or are some way they integrate it together?
They're integrated, yeah. So anything we do, we try to integrate as much as we can. Again, they can go and open up their mobile browser and go to smartcity.morrisvillenc.gov and see our dashboard. But we wanted to integrate that in with the mobile application. Again, having a one-stop shop application where they can go and they can see all of these services, including our smart city services as well.
Nice, excellent. So the next question is around the trash can panda. Is that correct? Is that what
Yes.
it's called, the trash can panda? So it sounds like it's an innovative waste management solution. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that and maybe where the name came from?
Yeah, so we worked with a local IoT startup on this one, and he's very creative with naming these projects, and obviously it's a play on the raccoons getting into the trash. So he wanted to call it Trash Can Panda. So we worked with them to identify what we can deploy to give our public works staff more information. So again, streamlining these processes and making these more manual, traditional items more automated. So what our public works staff did previously was on a set schedule 2 times a week, they would go out to our 50 plus receptacle bins at our parks, at our facilities, and they would empty those. Sometimes they would go and there'd be no trash and they wouldn't have to empty them. So there were some inefficiencies there, and we wanted to be able to give them information on how full these bins were at any given time. So we worked with this startup to build a sensor. We tested multiple sensors and wanted to give them a dashboard where they can go at a glance and see, okay, these fulls are green, or these bins are green, these bins are yellow, these bins are red. So they know that they should focus on the red bins and then the yellow bins. And then they don't have to go to the ones that are not even close to full. Again, it gives them that information at a glance so that they can be more targeted of which cans they empty. And so we worked with this company. Once we built this sensor out, we had trouble finding an enclosure for it. And so what we did is we worked with this company to get some CAD drawings and to design an enclosure that worked specifically for the cans that we utilize in Morrisville. And what we did is we 3D printed those to expedite the process of deploying these sensors. So from start to finish, we kind of custom built this sensor to work for Morrisville. And we actually just a few months ago got an email from our public works staff just thanking us for this initiative, and they're very appreciative because it's saving them time. And I think that's what we need to hear. Again, we don't want to deploy this technology just to deploy it. We want to make sure we're making a positive impact. And so being able to hear that from a public works staff member is very big.
Absolutely, yes. I couldn't agree more. And I also think that sometimes waste management initiatives aren't always at the forefront. So it's good that you all are keeping that into consideration. And if it's creating efficiencies within the community and staff, that's excellent. The other question I have is around the facility vision project, the Morrisville Aquatics and Fitness Center. How is that benefiting the residents, and how does that real-time data, equipped status, and facility occupancy enhance their experience?
Yeah, so we took what we learned with our amenity vision project and wanted to scale to our most popular facility, which is our Morrisville Aquatics and Fitness Center. There's aerobics equipment, aerobics rooms, there's a gymnasium, racquetball courts, there's a pool. And so we wanted to make sure we deployed a network of sensors to do very similar to what we did at the amenity vision project. We wanted to give our residents information about this facility, about its current utilization and about its historical utilization. And so we heard a couple different things from both our park staff and our residents. Our park staff, um, they said that what will happen is they get people signing up for memberships. They come in to check in, and the facility is jam packed. What they do, if are, they like to ride on a treadmill. Uh, if the treadmills are taken, they'll turn and go home. And a lot of times, what they'll do if that happens multiple times, they'll cancel their membership. So they don't want to come to a facility that they cannot fully utilize. So again, giving them information to help them make better decisions on when they want to utilize this facility. So we're putting sensors even on every single piece of equipment so we can tell if a bike or a row machine or a treadmill is being occupied. And we're going to display that on our smart city dashboard so that if someone likes to run on a treadmill, they can go and see of 5 or 6 treadmills, 2 are available. So it gives them information to make those decisions so they don't get in their car and get frustrated with these services that we provide.
Very good. Yeah, I mean that is definitely. I think as this generation, we want more instant information and more efficiency. So I could see how these types of platforms and data is helping the residents just kind of stay in touch with what's going on and to save them time as well too, or even plan around it when they want to take advantage of these community resources that you all have. So that's excellent. The other questions I have are around the open data, but before we get to that, I wanted to see if you can share a little bit more insights on the collaboration with the HBCU students on the transportation related problem statements, and how has that involvement impacted like smart city challenges or smart city challenge?
Absolutely. So we worked with the Pathway Foundation. They host every year an HBCU Smart Cities Challenge, and they work with a handful of municipalities to identify community problem statements, these challenges that we experience in our community, so that these students can work through the innovation process to come up with a pilot or some kind of solution to address these problems. So we worked with 3 different groups of students across, I think, a handful of the HBCUs here in North Carolina to work on some problem statements around transportation. So we had them in end of February to help them understand a little more about these problem statements, learn a little bit about our community, why we experience these challenges, where these come from. We had them out for a one-day workshop and work through a lot of their questions to help them understand Morrisville. And what they will do now is take that information to build a solution, whether it's a pilot or an actual solution to help address those problems. So here, March 23rd, we will be out in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where they're hosting the actual pitch event. So these groups of students will pitch their ideas, and the 3 Morrisville groups will have an opportunity to win a share of $10,000 presented by MasterCard at this event. So we're very excited about this opportunity that we had to work with these students and these young minds that really help us think differently. And it's great to see our young generation interested in solving problems in our community and helping this process and helping their communities do better, be more efficient, and solve these challenges.
Excellent. Yes, that's a very interesting approach. Especially, it's kind of a good way to gauge what the community wants to see and what they want to do, and how they can get involved by also, I guess, pushing these smart city initiatives as well too. So I think nothing better than sometimes hearing from people who have been working right in the community, but also students that are always keeping up with the latest technologies, but also trying to find ways to create solutions for problems that they think might need attention. So that's awesome. That's really great. I know that we've talked about different initiatives, and we've also talked about data, part of those initiatives, which is actually a great point. I think sometimes there's these mobile applications created, or there's these initiatives created, but it's so good to know that you are constantly talking about the analytics and you're constantly talking about the data to continue making those informed decisions. So kind of talking a little bit more about that open data program, how it's significant for its communities, and how have like residents, developers utilized these data sets and these data stories.
Absolutely. So we operate on an open first philosophy. So we want to make sure that the data that we generate as a town or as a smart city program, um, we're transparent. Again, this is the primary reason for our open data program. It's to provide the community the transparency of what we're doing, why we're operating, and why we're making certain decisions. But it also helps them make decisions. We release our criminal data. We want to be as transparent as we can. We release our permitting information so folks can see what's going on around town as far as development goes. Again, it's really about being as transparent as we can. Again, we operate to serve our community. It's important for us to understand that and to make sure that we recognize that our residents are the reason we're doing these initiatives, the reason we operate the way we do. And so it's important for us to provide them that data and that information so that they understand these initiatives and they understand town services better. Again, making sure that we are a data-driven city, making sure that we make these decisions based on data and information, not based on how we feel something is going or what we think. It gives us more true insights into what's going on and helps us operate at a higher level.
Great. Thank you for that clarification and just kind of understanding, because I think sometimes even just as a regular citizen, you're like, wait, what do we do with that data? But if you tell a story and you kind of share, these certain talking points or things like how it's working, how it's benefiting, it kind of shows like the big picture. So I think that's a really good, unique way of continuing to know that you as a city leader are doing, like you said, serving your community and listening to them through the usage and the data that these applications are providing. So very nice. So lastly, my question, is there a challenge happening with Morrisville Open Data? Is there a challenge? Like, what are some of the goals that you are trying to get out of this challenge, or also for residents? Like, how can they participate? And is it only for residents? Because as you know, this interview will be viewed by many others. So if you could just provide a little bit more details on that challenge.
Yes, so this all stems from a sub program that we've launched within our Smart City program, and it's called More Ideas, MORRIDEAS. And you mentioned it briefly when we were talking about the Open Data program, and it really is, or the HBCU challenge, it really is utilizing our community, utilizing a diverse set of ideas to really crowdsource what we're doing and to supplement what it is in these initiatives that we are deploying here within the town. So currently we've got a hackathon that we've released. It can be found at moreideas.hackerearth.com. And there are two competitions going on. The first one is a national competition, and there is prize money for first, second, and third. And it really is to crowdsource ideas and design and prototypes around a new feature within our mobile application that we want to deploy. And it's around gamification. How can we get folks involved and engaged more within that application to really bridge those digital resources with our physical resources that we offer throughout the town. There'll also be a local competition within that hackathon. It's a separate prize pool. There is an additional component to that, and it'll be an in-person hackathon. We're not sure. We're looking at maybe a June, July timeframe. A lot of that information, again, will be on our site, our registration site, that is Morrideas, MORRIDEAS.hackerearth.com. And you'll see our problem statement. You'll see what we're trying to accomplish. Um, but but aside from that, we're looking at launching here in the next few months Morrisville Open Data Challenge, which is the mod challenge, and it's really to drive engagement and awareness of our open data program, but also how can folks creatively utilize and reuse this data that we publish? Is there insights that they can tell us that maybe we didn't see or that we overlooked? But also, is there different applications that can be built to utilize this data that can help us better serve the community? So it really is, again, we can't do this without our good partners, without our community getting involved, and really is getting them engaged, getting them part of the process, and utilizing these ideas. We live in a very tech-centered area here in the RTP, and we want to utilize these ideas that folks have that can help better our program, better our community, and it's all about this diverse set of ideas and being able to provide our residents a more robust set of services.
Excellent. Rick, well, thank you so much for talking about those different initiatives. I have more of it's a professional, but more of like a personal question too, regarding the strategic plan around the Smart Cities program. Did you think that when you were starting this a while back, because I don't know when exactly this came to be about, that all these initiatives would come out of that? Like, where did that come from?
Yes, that's a great question. So in 2019, I started early 2019 here with the town, and we knew we wanted to do something with smart cities. It was a word that was coming out of our council's mouth, and so we knew it was of interest to them. And so we did want to be strategic with this. We wanted to understand our community, the challenges within, to help us identify these types of initiatives and set ourselves up for success. And I think we've been very blessed to have a more strategic vision to give us this idea of what we do with our community, what we do with this program. And so when we adopted that plan in late 2019, early 2020, it was right there during COVID. We didn't know how this was going to take off. We didn't know the types of initiatives completely. We just knew that we wanted to embrace innovation. It's one of our town's core values, and we wanted to make sure that we were keeping that at the forefront. And we wanted to make sure, again, we want to serve our community. Traditionally, government IT is focused on internal services, so the network, the data, the systems, the end user support, very forward or internal facing. We wanted to be able to provide these public facing initiatives and try to make an impact from the local government IT side that traditionally we don't see. And we've got a great group of folks that really help us bring this to life. Like I said, we couldn't do it without our partners. We've since hired a Smart City program manager, Billy Whitehead. He's been instrumental in really taking our program to the next level. And we really do have the support from our council and our administration. We could not do it without that support. Again, they allow us to embrace that core value of innovation and really see these initiatives through. Again, they put their money where their mouth is.
That's good. That's so good to hear. It's very fascinating to really develop a plan, have people on board, and then execute it, but then still be able to be seeing how it's going through these initiatives, but then be able to report back. So that's terrific, and thank you for sharing these wonderful insights. The town of Morrison is doing lots of great things, and I just hope that you all continue to do these things and like lead by example. And I just want to say the conversation does not end here, right? I want to thank you again for being here. I want to remind everyone that we're going to be in Raleigh in May. But before I kind of jump in there to kind of explain a little bit what they can expect, is there anything else, Rick, that you would like to share with us?
There is not. No, we just opened that invitation for folks to join us at that conference in May at the Smart Cities Connect conference. Our door is open. We're happy to have these conversations, answer any questions that you all have. Again, we enjoy talking about this and we're very passionate about what we do.
Awesome. Yes, and I'll make sure to provide those links in the website so that they can find out more information about the challenges and a little bit more about Morrisville uh, in the links below in the copy once we upload this interview to our media site, our Smart Cities media site. So just kind of want to recap and just let everyone know that we will be having our Smart Cities Connect conference and expo in Raleigh, North Carolina on May 7th through the 10th. We are offering 5 program tracks in digital transformation, urban operations, mobility infrastructure, community engagement, and we're also having an additional track this year on innovation topics covering AI. So we're really excited about that. We are also doing the Smart 20 Awards. It's being hosted at the SAS Executive Briefing Center located in Raleigh. There's a fee for $25, but city leaders can attend for free, and that is between 5:30 and 7:30. We are expecting over 500 city leaders, over 300 cities there, so it'll be a great networking opportunity. So we encourage you all to register and come to the conference. We'll have an expo floor and we'll have over 45 panels, breakout sessions that you can choose from. So go to our website, check out the different programs and panels that we have so that you can start planning your conference journey. Once again, I want to thank Rick for this interview and we look forward to seeing you in May.
Thank you, Michael.